From stories around the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A pleasant evening. I'm Dulanjali Ananda.
A very good evening. I'm Lakshya Singha. And to start off, we take a quick look at the headlines for tonight.
A special gazette notification is to be issued tomorrow ordering a maximum price for PCR and antigen tests. An island-wide campaign to vaccinate pregnant mothers from the 24th to the 31st of this month. The percentage of population above the age of 30 years in the country who have received at least one vaccine dose increases to 99.24. A remedy to the gas shortage is to be provided within the next 3 days. A series of proposals from SLPP backbench MPs for the next budget. A lockdown order imposed on Melbourne City, Australia has been extended by a further week.
On to those and other stories in detail, starting off with the top story for tonight. The Ministry of Health has taken measures to regularize prices on the PCR and antigen tests. Accordingly, the maximum price on a PCR test is 6,500 rupees and the maximum price on an antigen test is 2,000 rupees. The regularization of prices comes into effect with respect to tests being conducted by hospitals in the private sector. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi said that the relevant gazette notification regarding price regularization will be issued tomorrow. The minister made these remarks to the media after a discussion with State Minister Lasantha Lagiyavanna. Inoculation of vaccines has commenced today on 3 special days for people above the age of 60 years in the Western Province who have not yet received COVID-19 vaccines. The COVID-19 Prevention National Operations Centre has taken steps to inform the recipients of vaccines on the date of arrival and location through SMS. The COVID-19 Prevention National Operational Centre has collated information on people above the age of 60 years in the Western Province who have not yet received vaccines. The Colombo District Vaccination Program has also got underway at the Army Hospital in Narahimpeta today. The program will be conducted till the 13th of this month. The Gampa District Vaccination Program will commence at the Gampa District General Hospital tomorrow. It will be conducted till the 14th of this month. The Kaluthara District Vaccination Program will also commence tomorrow at the Kaluthara District General Hospital. The Government Information Department informs persons above the age of 60 years in the Western Province who have not yet received vaccines to furnish information to them to the Information Centre. It also informs such individuals to call the COVID-19 Prevention National Operational Centre through the telephone number 1906. COVID immunization programs covering 22 other districts also commenced today. The 24-hour vaccination program at the Diathowina premises will be conducted tonight as well. The first and second doses of the Sinopharm vaccine are being administered at this location through mediation of the Sri Lanka Army. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Police intervenes in the vaccination program for persons above the age of 30 years in the Colombo city, conducted by the Public Health Division of the Colombo Municipal Council. The vaccination program was conducted at the Sugatadasa Indoor Stadium today as well. A program got underway in Piliyandala today in search of those in the Western Province who have not yet received any vaccine and those who are unable to reach vaccination centres. 15,000 doses of the Russian-made Sputnik V vaccine was brought to the island at dawn today. The stock of vaccines was later on transferred to the Central Vaccination Depot in Colombo. 14,938,990 vaccines has so far been provided to people in the country under the COVID immunization program. In the past 7 days, 1,858,855 vaccines have been inoculated. 428,535 doses of vaccines have been inoculated yesterday itself. The percentage of those above the age of 30 years of the population who have received at least one dose of vaccine has increased to 99.24. More than 75% of the vaccine doses have been inoculated among people in 23 districts. Out of the population, 1,333,948 above the age of 30 years in the Colombo district, 11,034,575 have already been inoculated. Around 600,000 persons above the age of 30 years have received both doses of the vaccine. According to a survey covering 447 Gram Nirdhari divisions, it has been revealed that 99,337 persons between the ages of 30 and 59 years have not yet received a single dose of vaccine. In addition, it has also been revealed that 46,672 persons above the age of 60 years have also not received a single dose of vaccine. The Department of Railways has taken measures to subject to thorough inspection on train passengers with the strengthening of travel restrictions. It is compulsory for those travelling in trains to keep in their possession an official identification card or a letter which establishes their identities. The Sri Lanka Transport Board says measures have been taken to restrict inter-provincial bus transport. A special vehicle inspection was carried out in this manner at the Benthara police checkpoint today with the restriction of inter-provincial travel. 138 persons have been taken into police custody over violation of quarantine laws in the 24 hours that ended at 6 a.m. today. So far, 53,942 persons have been arrested in this regard. The Gampaha District COVID Control Committee meeting was held at the Gampaha District Secretariat yesterday. State Minister Specialist Physician Dr. Sudarshani Fernandopulle has presided over the event. Specialist Physician of Respiratory Diseases at the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo, Dr. Chandana De Silva, says that the methodology of treatment of COVID-19 infected children above the age of 2 years in their residences have commenced. The Health Ministry says that an island-wide COVID immunization program for pregnant mothers will take place from the 24th to the 31st of this month. State Minister Professor Channa Jayasumana engaged in an inspection tour at the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo this afternoon. The medical staff told the minister that all wards in the hospital are filled with corona-infected children. 2,154 COVID-19 infected persons have been identified in the island today. 2,244 fully cured patients have left the hospitals today. Public Relations Counter of the Employees Provident Fund of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka at Lloyd Place, Colombo 1 will be kept closed with effect from today until the 20th of this month, with the detection of the affliction of COVID-19 by several officials at this location.
Police spokesperson Senior DIG Ajit Rohana says that a group of community police officers have been deployed in order to trace unvaccinated persons in the area of Colombo and to direct them to nearest vaccination centre.
The vaccination program organized by Sri Lanka Police Community Policing Division and the MOH officers of Colombo Municipal Council is conducted at Sugadasa Indoor Stadium today. Therefore, the citizens who are in the Colombo city are kindly requested to attend the vaccination program. Those who have not been vaccinated so far, even one dose. The program is conducted from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock at Sugadasa Indoor Stadium, and community policing police officers are conducting a special operation in the Colombo city to trace the persons who have not been vaccinated, and they are directed to the center. The program was conducted for a period of 5 days, 4 days at Sugadasa Indoor Stadium and 1 day at Shalika Hall, Narahempita. So during this period, approximately 11,000 persons have been vaccinated in the program, and it is continued. So therefore, the citizens of Colombo city are requested to proceed to the vaccination center at Sugadasa Indoor Stadium, Colombo.
Now, on the global update of the pandemic, Australia's second largest city, Melbourne, has extended its lockdown in a bid to stamp out the outbreak, while authorities in Sydney have said that they were considering easing restrictions for vaccinated residents despite the Delta variant continuing to spread. Australian cities have used lockdowns to successfully end outbreaks throughout the pandemic, but the highly contagious Delta variant poses new challenges in a national population with a relatively low vaccination rate. Melbourne's sixth lockdown will be extended for a second week until the end of August 19th, the Victoria state government said on Wednesday, as it reported 20 new infections in the latest 24-hour period. New Zealand has designated Indonesia and Fiji as very high-risk countries due to the escalating COVID-19 cases numbers and has placed limits on travel from them. Travel to New Zealand from Indonesia and Fiji will be restricted to New Zealand citizens, their partners and children and parents of independent children who are New Zealand citizens. Other travellers, including New Zealand residents, are required to spend 14 days outside of Indonesia before flying to New Zealand. Indonesia has become the epicenter of Asia's COVID-19 outbreak and has recorded more than 3.68 million infections so far, while reporting more than 108,000 deaths from the virus. Neighboring India has reported 38,353 new cases in the last 24 hours. The South Asian nation's tally of infections have crossed 32 million and second highest worldwide after the United States. South Korea has reported more than 2,200 new daily cases, and the record since the pandemic began last January, as the country grapples with its worst COVID-19 outbreak to date. Despite having tough distancing measures in place for over a month, infections have spiked due to the spread of the more transmissible Delta variant and a rise in domestic travel over summer. South Korea has been struggling since July to tame spotted outbreaks of COVID-19 that were at first centered largely on metropolitan Seoul, however, have since spread nationwide. Meanwhile, COVID-19 has killed more than 4.3 million people and infected over 204 million globally. The initial discussion to obtain proposals of a backbench parliamentarians of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna on the budget 2022 has taken place today. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has presided over the meeting at the Temple Trees. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa has organised the event. Backbench MP proposals are being received with the objective of focusing attention on the rural, regional, district and national level issues, as well as for the purpose of strengthening national economy. These MPs have presented their views and suggestions on issues pertaining to several fields, including enhancing of local agriculture and export-oriented production, and also on seeking the contributions of rural community on industrial and service sectors. They have also extended proposals regarding upliftment of traditional industrialists and also on the development of the tourism, fisheries and animal production sectors. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, even during his tenure as the President as well as the Minister of Finance, has taken measures to seek the opinions of group representing numerous production fields of the country. These initiatives have borne extremely successful results. Minister Basil Rajapaksa said that therefore measures are underway to receive the proposals of those representing sectors which could extend maximum influence on the preparation of the forthcoming budget. The meeting was also attended by Ministers Professor G. L. Pires and Johnson Fernando, as well as the General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Attorney at Law Sagara Karyavasa.
State Minister Dilum Amunugama says that the gas shortage in the island will be eliminated within the next 2 to 3 days. He made these remarks at a media briefing of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna today. State Minister Dilum Amunugama has admitted that there is an institutional problem. He added that gas is not the issue but some other managerial problem. They do not have a need to conceal the problem. Further collapse would leave Litro as the only supplying company. Sri Lanka's daily gas requirement is 90,000 cylinders. By now, Litro company issues 100,000 cylinders. The minister further said that two problems have arisen due to the last gas shortage. The people were anticipating a gas shortage, therefore one person bought even 2 or 3 cylinders. Although Litro releases 100,000 cylinders daily, it was not able to fulfill the shortfall. Litro has no capability of mass distribution at once. As a result, the 100,000 cylinders were not distributed equally throughout the country. The ultimate results have been long queues. The minister said that they will definitely resolve the problem within 2 or 3 days. State Minister Amunugama added that Minister Bandula Gunawardena has decided to leave aside institutional regulations and to give permission to the company for island-wide gas distribution.
State Minister Shashendra Rajapaksa says that the Cabinet of Ministers has not granted permission to import organic fertilizer. Addressing a media briefing at the ministry today, he further said that permission has been granted only to import a nitrogen extract made out of natural plant ingredients needed for the manufacturing of organic manure. State Minister Shashendra Rajapaksa said that the Cabinet has not granted by any means to import organic compost fertilizer. He added that permission has been granted only to import the nitrogen extract made out of natural plant nutrients. The minister has further stated that the Minister of Agriculture is getting ready to commence paddy cultivation in the Maha season from the Ampara district, utilizing nitrogen extracts with the locally made organic fertilizer. There should be a minimum 3% nitrogen concentration in the solid fertilizer being manufactured locally. The producers purchase their fertilizer requirements from the 2 state fertilizer institutions. Minister Shashandra Rajapaksa has also said that 70% of the farmers have registered to process their organic fertilizer requirements by themselves. He added that some amount of money is needed to purchase the raw materials in this connection. That is why the cabinet has granted approval to provide an allowance of 12,500 rupees. In addition, the government intervenes in the provision of liquid fertilizer. The nitrogen extract is being provided free of charge to the farmers. In the event of a farmer failing to produce fertilizer, a large-scale producer will come to the assistance.
Intellectuals say that laws will have to be enacted to regularize individuals or groups who make use of false concepts and forms of worship for the fraudulent earning of money. The intellectuals engaging in an online discussion over at the Government Department of Information have pointed out that groups involved in deceiving masses are rampant in today's society. President's counsel U.R. De Silva said that if any person is incited for the sole purpose of exploitation, then there is a massive fraud in this connection. This is a common occurrence in present-day society. He added that actions could be taken against those who dashed the expectations of those who had invested large sums with the hope of getting a bigger return.
Sri Lanka's first residential New Zealand High Commissioner Michael Edward Appleton has met Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at the Temple Trees today. Mr. Appleton has expressed his appreciation over becoming Sri Lanka's first High Commissioner of his country. He has also expressed his willingness to the Prime Minister to further enhance bilateral cooperation. New Zealand is the world's largest dairy farm producer. The High Commissioner added that New Zealand is ready to extend technology and knowledge with the Sri Lankan milk production industry. He has also recalled of a previous discussion with Minister of Youth Affairs and Sport, Namal Rajapaksa. The High Commissioner further said that they hope that solidarity between nations could be strengthened through sports. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that a friendly country, Sri Lanka, will continuously commit itself to act in cooperation with the government of New Zealand. He has also extended best wishes to the new New Zealand High Commissioner. Minister Professor Gio Pires, State Minister Ajit Nivad Cabral and Chief of Staff of the Prime Minister's Office, Yoshito Rajapaksa, were among those who have attended the meeting.
The Peradeniya Royal Botanical Gardens completes 200 years in existence. This garden is regarded as a tourist paradise which displays the splendor of the local ingenuity to the entire world. The Peradeniya Royal Botanical Gardens was established by the British nationals in the year 1821. A unique feature of this landscape is that it bears the shape of a horseshoe. The park, enriched with natural beauty, is located along Sri Lanka's longest river, the Mahaveli. The entire extent of the land is 147 acres. The Royal Garden has many attractive features, including plants inherent to the island, tropical plants, and many varieties of exotic fauna and flora. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has unveiled an official logo at the park premises today, symbolizing the historic bicentennial anniversary. A book compiled appreciating the enormous contribution made during its 200-year-old history to the local agriculture and forest conservation was also released today. Secretary to the Ministry of Tourism S. Hettiarachchi and Director General of the Department of Botanical Gardens Shelomi Krishnaraja have also graced the occasion.
A research conducted by the Hector Kobakadu Agrarian Research Institute has found out that elephants cause only 20% of the damages on crops carried out by the wild animals. The remaining destructions are caused by activities of other animals, including birds. 2 reports of research on crop damages and polythene plastic problem conducted by the Agrarian Research Institute were handed over to Minister Mahinda Amaravira today. Minister Mahinda Amaravira said that the problem encountered by planters, including coconut plantation owners, is the substantial waste of harvest caused by animal activities. The minister further said that every year Sri Lanka spends substantial amounts of money on the erection of elephant fences and other devices. The minister has pointed out that, however, crop damages are caused by animals other than elephants have increased fourfold.
The Department of Registrar General has taken steps to issue certified copies of birth, death and marriage online. The department says that the recipients of the copies now have the ability to request the copies needed in their preferential language by entering the department website. This was disclosed at a media briefing of the Ministry of Defence yesterday. Assistant Director of Information Technology at the Registrar General's Department, Tharaka Prasanna, said that the relevant website address is www.online.ebmd.rgd.gov.lk. He further said that upon entering of the website address, 3 keys on language appear on the screen. The recipient is able to choose any one of them. Thereafter, the email address and the telephone number of the recipient should have to be provided in order to receive a PIN number. This PIN number is to be used to provide required information for the obtaining of the relevant certified copies. Registrar General WMMB Veerasekara said that thereafter the recipient is able to request to have the copy from the nearest desired location. After making the necessary payments, the copies could be obtained via the courier system of the Postal Department. The significant feature of this procedure is the ability to purchase the copies within a relatively short duration. He further said that all birth certificates from the year 1960 up to now have been fed into a computerized network. Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne said that from now there is no need to loiter at government institutions to receive birth, death and marriage certificate copies. The Defence Secretary also expressed optimism of receiving copies of all deeds as well through the online format. The extracts of deeds could also be provided through these means. And that's all the stories for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Until then, stay safe and good night.
Good night.